Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into a chilling, 400-year-old supernatural mystery that bridges ancient mythology with a seriously terrifying modern-day awakening. I mean, it's pretty wild to uncover a story that perfectly blends cursed bloodlines, magical cures, and a nightmarish entity that stalks the dark. We're going to explore the lore, the history, and the absolute suspense of the coffin bearers of the ruined palace together. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, and the stakes here are quite literally life and death.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Just imagine hearing this warning from your village chief. Anyone who sees them disappears forever. That sends an absolute shiver down your spine, doesn't it? Because this isn't just some spooky campfire tale for the locals. It's an immediate existential threat. The concept here is terrifyingly simple. To even look at them is to cease to exist. No struggle, no trace left behind, just complete disappearance. It establishes incredibly high stakes for everyone in this village, creating this profound atmosphere of dread that dictates literally every action they take after the sun goes down.
So what exactly are we dealing with here? Let's officially define this threat. These are the Nishir Molo. They're four shadowy figures, defined by their dark robes and that ominous coffin they carry, and they arrive punctually at exactly 2 a.m. But what makes this so incredibly urgent for the village right now is that this isn't just historical trivia anymore. Just tonight, two villagers named Sompet and Kapta, who happened to stay out a bit too late gambling, vanished without a trace. So yeah, the myth has officially bled right into reality.
Section 1. Secrets of the Ruined Palace. A terrifying 2 a.m. encounter.
So, picture this. Completely unaware of the true danger out there, our present-day protagonists, Anuj, a local, and his visiting friends Ishita and Meghna decide it's a great idea to explore the abandoned royal palace, right at the dreaded hour of 2 a.m. Naturally, things escalate rapidly. A heavy door just creaks open entirely on its own. Out steps this tall, cloaked figure holding a deeply unsettling, strange-looking doll. Anuj actually tries to speak to it, which, bad move, asking who it is, but he's met only with heavy breathing and these terrifying growls echoing through the dark hall. And then, the entity charges at an unbelievable speed. The sheer panic forces our trio to sprint for their lives, desperately throwing themselves out of a broken window just before the creature can grab Anuj.
Having barely escaped with their lives, the three friends catch their breath and make a pact. They are going to keep this terrifying escape a strict secret. But, well, the irony here is pretty thick. When they sneak back into the village, their little secret is entirely overshadowed. They're met by the village chief, who happens to be Anuj's father, and dozens of panicked villagers gathered outside. The chief is absolutely furious they were out, but not because they were exploring ruins. It's because the horrific realization has just hit the town. The ancient evil of the Nishir Molo has returned. Their secret palace encounter wasn't an isolated event at all. It was the epicenter of an awakening.
Section 2. The legendary Mrityunjay Amrit. Tracing the 400-year-old curse.
Okay, we need to take a quick step back from the immediate panic of the village square to systematically analyze the historical mythology at play here. Why are Ishita and Meghna even hanging around this isolated, dangerous village to begin with? Well, as Ishita points out to Meghna in private, they didn't come looking for ghosts. They came searching for the Mrityunjay Amrit. This is a legendary, divine liquid produced by a sacred banyan tree, renowned for its miraculous power to cure absolutely any disease. And honestly, this changes our perspective entirely. Our protagonists aren't thrill seekers. They are desperately seeking a miraculous cure. They basically walked into a cursed village by accident while hunting for a miracle.
But here's where the story shifts from a simple medical quest into something deeply psychological, and frankly, super unsettling. For months, Meghna has been plagued by these terrifying nightmares featuring a very specific, gigantic, strange banyan tree. The next morning, Anuj takes the girls deep into the forest to show them the actual source of the Mrityunjay Amrit. And there it is. The forest reality matches her nightmares perfectly. Meghna's heart practically stops because she's staring at the exact same tree from her dreams. This eerie coincidence heavily suggests she didn't just stumble into this village. She was somehow drawn to it.
Now, what's really interesting is when we map out this 400-year chronological lore, a chilling pattern emerges. 4 centuries ago, a deadly plague wiped out the ancient kingdom. In the aftermath, the missing princess mysteriously returns bearing a magical seed. From that seed grows our sacred banyan tree, which produces the Mrityunjay Amrit cure. But the lore tells us that shortly after the kingdom was saved, a terrible darkness emerged, the Nishir Molo. And now, in the present day, that exact same terrible darkness has violently awakened again. The cure and the curse? Yeah, they are inexplicably tied together.
All right, Section 3, the failed tantric ritual, a terrifying display of power.
The lore is absolutely fascinating, for sure, but the present danger in the village is very real and requires immediate action. With the Nishir Molo back on the prowl, the desperate villagers attempt a powerful defensive ritual right in the town square. And this brilliantly illustrates just how unstoppable this entity is. A tantric disciple begins chanting mantras to ward off the evil, creating this really eerie wind. But then, the heavy thud 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 of footsteps cuts right through the chant. The coffin bearers arrive. After a moment of terrifying silence and a horrific scream, the villagers find the disciple frozen like a statue, his face stretched in unimaginable terror. And then, the ultimate horror. His body literally turns to dust and vanishes before their eyes. The ritual didn't just fail, it was effortlessly dismantled.
The failure of this ritual sends shockwaves far beyond the village square. Even the great tantric master, who senses this defeat from his hidden cave far away, realizes that this evil has grown stronger than before. It proves that the stakes have never been higher. The master knows the village's defenses are completely useless at this point. If he doesn't intervene personally, utter destruction is guaranteed.
Moving to Section 4, Meghna's dark connection. The past is present.
This terrifying display of power brings us to our final and honestly probably the most unsettling narrative thread of all. We have to connect the ancient lore of the ruined palace directly back to our protagonist. That very same night, as the village reels from the disciples' horrific death, Meghna is pulled right back into her own personal horror. She experiences another vivid nightmare, but this time, it's different. She isn't just watching the tree anymore, she is literally in the lore. She's dressed exactly like the ancient princess who brought the magical seed 400 years ago. She's wandering alone through the dark forest until a mysterious hand grips her shoulder, shocking her awake. The lines between the 400-year-old past, the history of the tree, and Meghna's present reality are just completely blurring at this point.
So, the crucial point here is, we are left with some massive, terrifying questions that completely reframe this entire explainer. What dark secret actually connects Meghna, a modern girl just seeking a cure, to the ancient princess of a cursed village? Why did the magical Mrityunjay Amrit seemingly give birth to the horrific Nishir Molo 400 years ago? And what terrifying truth still lies hidden in that ruined palace? The coffin bearers are marching, the tantric master is on his way, and Meghna is somehow right at the center of it all. It's an incredible puzzle of mythology and horror, and I cannot wait to see what answers lie hidden in the dark. Thanks for learning with me today.